You are now listening to 15 Minutes of Fame Radio.
Let's go!
So, alright, so now y'all form the 18.
Yep.
Then how do you get to Desert Storm? Where does that come into play at?
We start doing mixtapes and freestyles and shit like that. And it
The
just,
18.
Yeah.
Now, is the 18 you, Buttons, and Hitch, or
That's what it started as.
the three of y'all?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's what it started as. And it just took off after like 2 or 3 freestyles. It was like pandemonium. I can only imagine if there was like social media.
That's a good thing, good question too, because y'all doing all this shit. That's another thing like these new artists don't understand. For you to be as relevant as you are, and there's no social media. Shout out to Drink Champs. That's why Drink Champs is like, as far as I'm concerned, the best fucking show ever. Mm-hmm. Because they take us back, man, to the eras that like I grew up, you grew up, you know, the music you listen to.
Nice.
And we get to hear those stories that we never knew existed because there was no
social media.
No social media. So whatever was happening was they only knew.
Yeah, we missed out.
So
or the fans missed out, or however you look at it. But I would say I would have been one of them dudes that had 5 million followers, like one of them type of dudes.
I bet. Yeah.
Yeah. When we yeah, you catch some of that shit, man. And fast forward, I don't want to skip your interview, but then we actually had a viral moment.
We gonna get there.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the Desert Storm shit. So y'all do the 18. That must be working out. So who calls you, or who makes the connect for DJ Clue to say we want to bring y'all in on this?
I had to say Joe, but
Okay.
I don't know how that conversation went. Or how it went down.
He already knew Clue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clue was involved in some type of capacity. Joe signed, I forgot the name of it.
Web.
Yeah, but they had a name. It was Web and
On Top.
On Top. So Joe was on the.
A little bit of something.
I'm old and forgetful. I'm glad you there. Yeah, it was On Top. They were signed to Def Jam when they had the situation with Def Jam. So they're from Queens. So that's the Clue connection. One day Clue was just there. You know what I mean? He came to the studio in Jersey City. And it was like, okay.
So now the 18 goes from the 18 to Desert Storm?
I don't know. I was just
You
living.
don't, I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just there, like living in the moment. Like I was on Clue tapes, but I ain't never, I ain't no contract. It wasn't no, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like I was just going with the flow.
Mm.
Like I'm fresh from doing whatever I was doing, on the streets. So
Another one of those just happy to be here moments.
I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's Desert Storm On Top. I don't know what's going on. So I'm just kind of going with it. Like, all right, this is better than what I was doing previously. So yeah, I was just going.
Who's part of Desert Storm? Who's
Well,
part of, now that you're in there doing the mixtapes with Clue and everything, who's part of that now?
Now or
Then, I mean, at that moment.
as far as artists or
Yeah.
artists, the way I looked at it, it was. You would on the outside looking in, you would say Joe, but Joe wasn't signed to them.
Wasn't signed, but he was still doing
It was
shit,
like,
right?
yeah. I would say Paul Kane, Fabulous, of course. Stack Bundles, but he wasn't signed either. We was off like free agents, and like we was wolves for real. Like we was just running around, and they was trying to collect us and kind of keep us in one spot. But at that time we was just kind of
Just loose cannons.
we
They
was
put
kinda just
everybody
running around
together.
crazy and shit. And they was trying to just keep everything together, but that was tougher than what I guess what they thought. But on the outside looking in, those would be the me, Hitch.
I think that people used to actually cop the tapes for y'all 6. Like y'all 5, Fab, Joe, you, Hitch.
So you could say
Stack,
that was Desert Storm.
Kane.
Yeah, that was Desert Storm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what, on the outside looking in, that was Desert Storm. Inside looking out, we just like, whatever. We just rapping on this Clue tape. Clue's popping. He like, yo, this what we doing. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Are y'all getting paid or
Nah.
so it's again another one of those moments
Yeah, you just happy to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, you like, all right, where's the money? You know what I mean? Like, not where's the money, but like, yo, when is we rappers now? Motherfuckers stopping me in the street, like, so I'm like, yo. And
That's
I'm not used
every.
to that.
That's every like when you watch any movie of a band or group or singer or whatever. It's like they all have that moment in their career. Be like, we just sold 50 million records and I'm still living in the projects. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Always one of those moments.
It didn't like was like, nah, you know, like the NWA movie and Ice Cube was like, man, I'm fucking. It wasn't one of those moments. It was like, okay, maybe a month, next month we just gonna start. But soon as this shit just start generating some money and shit. So that's, you know, but everything else was working out. So you kind of go with the flow. And
The brand is out there.
The brand is
you're
out
popular
there.
now.
I didn't know how popular I was because, of course, there wasn't no social media, and we barely left the city, so it was like we didn't know what was going on outside the city. And when I did leave, that's when I knew.
Wow.
I was like, oh shit.
Another one of those moments from the movies, like nobody knew till
I
you
didn't know,
left
man.
and went to another state and be like, oh, motherfuckers know me over here.
I had no idea. I remember somebody the first time. I remember the first time it happened, and it was on the block, and somebody walked up to me, and everybody kind of was like, and I was like,
In Jersey City?
It was in Jersey City.
Okay.
And you know, that's cause for alarm, and everybody kind of, and I know I was like, yo, what the fuck? And it's like, yo, bro, I just wanted an autograph. I'm like, oh, what? I couldn't believe what he said. He was like, no, I just wanted an autograph. I noticed that was you. I was like, oh shit, this is crazy. I'm like, oh, I
You
never
knock a motherfucker out because
you never know. Like,
Yeah.
I just, you know, it wasn't like, oh, he's a tough guy. Just like you always gonna be on alert because you stand on the corner, you thinking somebody coming.
why you looking at me that
Yeah,
long?
he's walking towards us. So it was like, oh shit, this like everybody. But he wanted an autograph, and that's when I knew, like, okay, this shit is different. Yeah, this is different. Or I'm doing the right thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's when I knew.
What happened? Like
Happened wrong. Or right?
now, nobody's trying to give you a deal. Like you with Clue, there's Desert Storm. You like y'all motherfuckers is tearing shit up. Now you're being popular. People are noticing you. No deal. Puffy come back and want you to write for him again.
It was, we had somewhat, you know, we went to had a meeting in Def Jam, and Def Jam was gonna sign us.
Mhm.
L.A. Reid and me, Stack Bundles, Hitch, you know.
Individually or as the Desert
He
Storm?
was I believe it was gonna be me and Hitch, and then Stack Bundles.
And Joe, all like
Joe was already had his own thing.
Right,
with Def
right.
Jam. He was on top Def Jam. So it was just us. We had the meeting. We did the whole Bobby Shmurda.
on the desk,
I
on
didn't
the
jump
table.
desk. I didn't jump on the desk. That's the newer shit. You know, I was kind of too. I was so fucking cocky and shit. I couldn't jump. Then I scared the shit out of me when I jumped on the desk.
Mm-hmm.
But we did the whole, you know, performing and shit. And these, you know, motherfucking L.A. Reid sitting there with an ascot on and shit. That's what you call it? Fucking ascot. I'm like, I ain't never seen one of them shits.
He was
Is that a scarf?
dude up.
Keep in mind,
This tucked in.
but keep in mind, this is Big Ran. This
Yeah, I was-
isn't worked
yeah.
out. You know,
Nah,
Ran was,
I was a gorilla.
you know.
I smelled it. You could smell it on me. You could smell it on me. And I'm, you know, we there. We performing. I think it was Sharon Kwok. I forget her name is. I might be saying her name wrong. And L.A. Reid with the ascot. I'll never forget. He was sitting
We
there
won't
like,
either.
I'll just never forget
We
that.
won't forget it either now.
He just sitting there like, he
ascot.
had the thick phrase on with the ascot and the suit. I was like, this smooth motherfucker, man. And we did our shit. And he was like, I like you guys. I'm gonna sign you guys. I'm like, and you know, we had to, went back to Jersey City, had a party. We think that's another moment. We like, here it is, we did it.
I'm gonna sign you is enough to have a party.
It was over.
Without getting signed, I'm gonna sign you.
Facts.
It's
Yeah,
enough.
it was there.
We there.
It was there. We had the single. It got that far. Like that Lil Jon single. That turned out when the deal that happened, it turned into a little scrappy single. But that was our single first. It was pressed up and everything, record, vinyl.
So
everything.
what is the single?
What you go? Well, you would remember.
Yeah.
I don't know. One of them.
What's
fucking-
the single?
First little scrappy.
The first
version,
little-
Lil Jon.
The first little
Not
scrap.
problem. You don't want no problem.
Yeah, the problems. Yeah.
That was our single.
I think I heard y'all.
Yeah. That was our shit.
Yeah, you right. I thought y'all did it over.
Nah, that was our single. That was
Wow.
when we was gonna come out with Def Jam. That
At
was
the
our
time,
single.
this is happening a lot to y'all though. 50 shit.
Oh yeah, we ain't get into that. That
No?
was after.
Oh, okay.
The 50 shit was after that. But yeah, that we had the single, and without throwing nobody, I don't want to throw nobody under the bus, but shit just things got botched, and it didn't. And then the rest is history. Lil Scrappy gets the single, and he turns out to be, what he do, and then we just
Could have been y'all.
yeah, but then everything worked out the way it was supposed to. Fast forward, but going back to that, at that time you thinking, dang,
I know
another
y'all was
failure.
losing your mind back
Another
then.
failure. Yeah, like I said, we
Yeah.
had a party. We had like a big party and shit. We thought that was that, and we had the single. We pressed it up, final. All that was
You
left
still
was
have
just-
the vinyl?
I never received it. I just seen it. I went to Def Jam. I seen it in boxes.
Damn.
It's in Skane's office, and he had that in the boxes.
Do you have the tape, the song? Do
The
you have the
song-
original?
Someone might have the song.
Okay.
It might even be on the internet or something.
But
I don't know if it.
DB thought that y'all did it over. He didn't know
Yeah,
y'all was
no, we
the
did it
That
original.
was a freestyle.
Yeah, we did it first.
Damn.
But he was around, he was there, but we did it first.
Damn.
And it was all record. We pressed up vinyl and everything, so it was about that. And then we was, we was going to sign our deal, and it just got botched. Later on, I knew it. We didn't know what happened then, but then being in the game for so long, I found out what happened.
What happened?
Like I said, I don't want to throw nobody's name under the bus. But
Throw them in the bus. Is that throwing them under the bus?
yeah,
Oh,
because they still working and shit.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I
But-
don't want to throw nobody's name.
So the deal, you
Yeah, it got fucked up. Yeah, it got fucked up. But we didn't know. We didn't know what was going on.
right?
So we like, damn, what the fuck happened? Like 2 weeks down the line, we're like, yo, we at the party 2 weeks ago. What the fuck going on? Like, I'm still fucking broke. Fuck is going on? Like, where's the deal? Where's the paperwork? We supposed to be moving. Like, where's the singles? The vinyl still in the fucking boxes. Take them shits out. Start getting them. Like, what we doing? Oh yeah, we waiting and shit. We the contracts. Boom, 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 boom. And it just never fucking happened. I was like,
You're still with Clue though?
yeah, that was a Clue
Okay.
situation. Clue, Skane, Duro. I'm like, what the fuck?
First time you almost had a deal, like
That was the only time.
at that point you like, fuck it, I don't want a deal, or
Not that. It just was like that was the closest because it was, and then it was still there, and then they changed men. Then Hove came in. And L.A. Reid, I don't know if he got fired or he left. And then
Hove. That's when Hove took over
that's
Def
when
Jam.
Hov took over Def Jam. So that was a whole new thing. So after that, it just kind of was over. And it was like,
So now you go back, y'all doing the mixtapes again, or just continue doing it.
yeah. That was rough though. It was
To
rough.
go
Like,
back to that.
yeah, he like, man, what the fuck? I'm like, damn. I'm thinking about it now, like, damn, what made me keep going? So I'm like, yeah, man, that shit was rough. So it was back to the drawing board.
And now Joe's not with y'all no more. Joe is on his own, doing his own
He's
thing.
already
and-
he was already ascending
Right.
to what whoever he was going to be. So it was just me and Hitch, and Joe was kind of doing his own thing, and he was having his success. So we like,
Pump it up and all that.
oh, yeah.
What happened to Clue? Like, what happened to the whole Clue
You're still
movement?
there.
No, I know Clue. I'm just saying, you go back after the Def Jam deal didn't happen. Now
Right.
y'all still with Clue.
Yeah,
Where did that go? Like,
we just doing fucking Clue tape, man. Just,
because now Fab became Fab
he-
because of the Clue tape.
or the,
But
or
Hitchcock
them
and
singles.
Ran and
Nah, them
well,
singles.
Stack Bundles was really doing good.
Stack.
And rest in peace to Stack
Yeah,
too.
definitely recipes.
Yeah, he was getting movement too at
Yeah,
some point.
he I don't know. At that time, I might have the timeline kind of like fucked up, but I know he started messing with Jim and Bird Gang and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So he was starting to do that. But he didn't sign. He was just kind of seeing where shit goes, like us. But we didn't have no outlet like Stack had. We just had Clue. So we just kind of hit the Clue shit. Like, all right, fuck it. Let's just do these mixtapes, man.
Right.
And do these freestyles and try to get heard again. Again, I'm saying again because we felt like after that disappointment, it was like we started all over again. It was like kind of we started right from the beginning, you know.
So now what happens after? I guess y'all off not with Clue anymore. Where do you go after the Clue?
Oh, we still doing the Clue tapes, and then I think at that point, I started to, or me and him started wanting to do our own thing.
Oh, hold up, real quick. The Clue thing. What was like the other artists? Because it was something to be number 2 on the Clue tape.
You mean the other artists that was involved in
like music, like
at that time,
Nori was
at
popping at the time, and
at that time,
Hove had his peoples, and 50 was just coming out, and like what was like the industry looking at y'all? Because at that time, like to be second or third on the Clue tape was Garby, and that was y'all's spot. Like what was it like with like all the other artists out there? Like what was the love from y'all? Like was y'all getting like the love of like the elite artists, or like was Nori like, man, fuck these dudes, they ain't signed?
That's the thing, you don't know because there wasn't no social media, and they couldn't DM you and say, yo, keep doing your thing, bro. They had to see you.
You had to run into them, right.
And like I said, we wasn't out there like that. I wasn't going into parties and shit. Like I said, I'm the same way I was then. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to be around nobody. Just the people I knew, you know what I'm saying? The people I kind of moved with.
15 minutes of fame!
You are now listening to 15 Minutes of Fame Radio.
Let's go!